We know recently what has happened in Turkey and Syria. May Almighty bless them and bring that normal life back as early as possible, because I know how heart-wrenching those scenes were, from the social media, the videos and all that. It was just totally devastating. I was not able to watch those videos even. We were having some conversation, me and my children, regarding these calamities, and I was trying to explore what were their thoughts, or with regard to all these all these calamities. So suddenly my child said, it's a punishment. Allah, Almighty has punished them. So I was like, oh my God, what made you say that? So it's like, people usually these kinds of declarations are given. So it's not just about children. We all know that. Even adults speak the same. Right now, even in the social media, we can find people are talking about the calamities as a source, or it's a sign of punishment. So there are many things that we have to understand. It's not just about punishment. So I just want to give in this particular video some details about the lessons that we can learn out of these calamities and what we need to communicate to our children in this regard. So the very first thing, as I mentioned, is about the declaration that, okay, this calamity is because of the punishment, or Allah wanted to punish that particular people, and that's why they had this experience of this calamity. So we have to be very mindful about our words as well, because had there been a chance that Almighty wanted all of them to be martyrs and get elevated, that position to be elevated, and maybe that's the reason He has given this particular calamity, because it is Islam also says that one who dies in a calamity, he will be a martyr. So just imagine, there are possibilities. Why not think in that way as well? So maybe because of, maybe they were so close to Almighty because of their good deeds, or maybe their hospitality, or maybe something else, and Almighty just wanted to elevate their position, and all of a sudden that calamity occurred and all of them became martyrs. May Allah accept all that deeds, and may their position also be elevated. So the second thing that I wanted to mention is about, I was communicating this to my children, and I told them that we have to be mindful about our death. We don't know when our death is going to approach, and whatever little time we have, we need to see to it that we are very productive and do something for the good cause. Maybe when we leave our lives behind and the legacy is seen, something is left for our fellow mates to follow. What is that you want to leave as a legacy behind you when you are no more in this world? So I had to communicate that to my children. So the third thing that I wanted to share was, I recently came to know about their hospitality. Turkish especially, the people in Turkey were known for their hospitality, and maybe that's the reason whoever was surviving there, the people who survived in the calamity, they were able to come and show that help, or render that help and service to the rest of the community there. And maybe that's the reason Almighty has given this particular test. Maybe it's a trial, right? So we need to think in that manner. What may be the causes, or what are the lessons that we can get? Number 4 is, we need to be well prepared in advance for all these kinds of calamities that occur in life. That is, we need to train ourselves, like maybe the first aid to be given, or what kind of services can I do for my fellow mate whenever I see such calamities. Maybe a fire broke out, or maybe some kind of floods, or recently that has happened, even in India, we might have come across the Uttarakhand, and also in Kerala what has happened. I am associated with one of the organizations, namely Jamaat-e-Islami Hind, and we have a special wing name that is by name Humanitarian Relief Society, wherein we train our cadres to contribute to the society, especially during these kinds of calamities. Whenever there is an accident, or when there's a fire breakout, or maybe floods, or any kind of, maybe somebody is committing suicide or what. So these things, what are we need to do at that particular point of time? We need to prepare ourselves well in advance, so that at least we are there to respond to that particular situation and render our help or service whatever we are able to. The fifth point that we need to learn is about the sacrifice. That is, we need to sacrifice our wealth and time also, especially when people are in need of food, shelter, or maybe kind of clothing that they need, water, medications, or even sometimes the tents that is required, right? So these things are very much important. How to get through all that, we need some financial helps, or how to raise the fund. These things are to be known. We need to learn about all that and somehow try to reach out to more people and get the help from others also, so that large amount can be collected and served to those people who are really genuinely in need of such particular amount and the funds. So the sixth point is such a heinous act, I would say. As a fellow mate or as mankind, there are people who are not even understanding the emotions of others and just trying to circulate the videos and irrelevant pictures of the refugees there, or of those people who are in the rubble. So who are stuck in the rubble doesn't mean that they have no lives, right? Even if they have lost their lives, it is an amana to safeguard all that. But what do we do? What are we doing right now? We are clicking the pictures and what not. We don't know whether the person has given that permission or not. Without the permission of that person, we are trying to spread all these messages, unwanted messages. And some of them are trying to vote. What do you say? What is your opinion? What may be the cause for this particular calamity or this destruction? So these kinds of opinions or these kinds of I don't think there is any argument required for such things that are happening here and there. And we need to, it's an alarming state, and we need to be aware that anytime anything may happen, even in our nation, even in the place where I am living in. So we don't know exactly what is happening. So the seventh point, which is very, very important, as a parent, we need to communicate this to our children. And that is regarding the values that we need to instill in us. Because during these calamities, we understand what is help, what is guidance. So seeking Allah's help or seeking the help from your Lord is very important at that particular time. And also the guidance, right way of where should I go, what should I do. These things are to be known, and only one person can give us, and that is the source. The ultimate source is the Almighty. He needs to guide us. So seeking right guidance, forgiving others, helping others, these are the qualities that we need to instill. And whenever these kinds of calamities occur, it's a kind of a reminder that these things are missing out, and you need to instill those things. You need to update yourself. So we need to understand certain qualities in us are reducing, and we again and again we need to renew it and show our gratitude, show our forgiveness. So these qualities in us should be increased more and more. I hope you had some lessons out of these things or whatever I have shared. I would love to know what are your lessons that you have learned out of these calamities, and let me know in the comment section so that I can communicate it to my children as well. Before leaving, again a gentle reminder to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you will be notified and you will be the first one to watch those videos which I'm uploading.